Well, hello, my YouTube friend. Today it is with a great deal of pleasure and surprise and honor. I have a lot of feelings mixed up all together when I received this morning that marvelous, oh man, that noise. Already, I'm starting to get crazy just by hearing the sound of those knives. Um, it might surprise some of you guys who know me because if you follow me here on YouTube or on Instagram, I have made at least one video for sure speaking about how those RJ Martins were not for me because of the tab, because of several reasons, the discrepancy between the thickness of the handle and the blade the blade ratio with the thickness of the handle. I mean, all those crazy things that I thought about those knives. And honestly, I still think that for the regular one, I mean, I haven't changed my mind despite the fact that I felt in absolute awe, shock and awe when I got this knife in hands. I mean, when I saw it on the picture, those details about the tab, I mean, there are reasons, but the main problem is that I didn't really find, for now, one package, a full package that I would like to own, actually. So I found some reason to dislike those knives. But truly, when I saw this one, I had to get it. I mean, it's not an inexpensive knife. Of course, it's such a great design, such a great package that I know that if I want to part with it, I mean, it would be a no-brainer for me to test it. I knew for a fact that this knife, I could resell it for sure. And actually, I already have a lot of people asking me to buy it, but make no mistake, this knife is going to stay in my collection for a while. So it was really a no-brainer for me to test it. And man, what a test. I received it this morning and I can't stop. I mean, my day was ruined, literally ruined by that knife because I couldn't stop contemplating it, sorry. I don't remember any other knife that would have made the same effect on me. Of course, I received recently my true grail, but this knife, the Rexford for sure, I was living with that knife. I was desiring that knife for over 2 years, so it was not really a surprise. I mean, I was expecting what I would get. It was even over and beyond my better expectation, but this is something different. This, to me, I had absolutely no expectation about RJ, and man, was I shocked because from something that I was not into, it became instantly one of my all-time favorites. And if I had to be bold, I would say that it entered my top 5, hands down, of my all-time favorite knives I've ever held, owned, or sold, or whatever. Yeah, top 5 for sure. And I'm gonna try to tell you why. I'm gonna show you that knife and see the art, the action, the function, the mechanism. You see what I like about knives, art, function, and the fact that it's a tool. So for me, this is not going to be a tool for sure, but there is some mechanics in it, and there is a lot of art. And we're going to start by describing the art, of course, and starting with the handle. So the handle, as you can see, is a gigantic piece of mammoth, which is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, if I had to choose, I would probably go for a mammoth, the blue one, which is my favorite mammoth. But this one is such an incredibly nice piece. Look at that. It's shiny. The way RJ worked on it is incredible. I wish he didn't go for this lanyard hold. For me, it doesn't make any sense, but whatever. I mean, there's a hole here. It spoils the beauty of the scale. But what a great piece of scale. But one of the things that I wanted to insist on is, maybe you're going to see it better with this angle, is here. You see, he made as usual. I mean, that's the usual contouring that he makes on the Q36, is some contouring here, and on the bolster we're going to go here. But the fact that he's doing this contouring here, you see here you have the thick part, and here it's very nicely contoured. The fact that he does that on such a big piece of mammoth, you can ruin a piece like that by doing that contouring here. It's organic material, so you can spoil it. And the way he does that here and here also is, to me, simply look at that. I mean, oh man, that's mesmerizing, and that's bold to do that, and that's, to me, that is something special. I mean, take the piece of mammoth. Just that is incredible, but that to me is something special. And if you want to go further, go here on the gap, mind the gap here, and try to find, I mean, you won't, because you would have to get the knife in hand, but you will not find the slightest, not even here on the junction, the slightest gap here between that organic material, the mammoth, and here the zircotai. But we're going to talk about about that zircotai. But here, let's keep it here with this wave, junction between the scale and the bolster is incredibly well done, absolutely. And those two different material, I mean, if I'm closing my eyes now, and I swear to you on on anything that you wouldn't find any difference, even in the material, which is something that to me blows my mind. And the same goes on the other side. To be honest with you, here you find it a little bit, a tiny bit here. Nothing, a tiny bit, just to say that it's not absolute perfection, but just a little bit. But it's so almost perfect, almost. Here, that's incredible. This is something, it's almost unreal. But here, it's what you can expect to see. I mean, when you look at it, it's perfect, but you feel a little bit of difference. Just to say something wrong, because I'm French, as usual. I haven't changed my nationality. Oh man, 7 minutes, I need to go faster. The screws, look at the screws. The hardware is all titanium, and look at that. He went for this nice anodization in bronze, that reminds, of course, the scale, and here he went for this nice blue touch. Blue-gray touch that goes with those bolsters. And speaking about those bolsters, look at that. I mean, have you ever seen something like that? I'll be honest with you, I've held some knives in my life, and I have never seen that material. So this material is zircotai. As strange as it may sound, is zircotai. It's a gray and black, as you can see, and the black is definitely black, and the gray is definitely gray. The contrast that you have, the way he worked on it, the finish on it is like a textured finish, like you feel some texture on it, and with a kind of bead blast. I don't know if you can call that bead blast, but it's not, it's shiny, and yet you don't see the traces, of the fingers here. I mean, that's, to me, this with the mammoth makes the knife. I don't know. This, just the material, the scale would be sufficient for me to become crazy. And the nice contouring that he does, but that's usual for him. And I don't think it's any more difficult to do that contouring here on that zircotai than on any kind of titanium. So this is something more usual, but that material, I've never seen that, and the way he works with it is absolutely incredible. Man, any kind of bolster would have done the trick, but this is something special and unique. Please leave any comment, because if you saw that material anywhere else, I want to see that, and I want to try to get any other knife with zircotai like that. Now let's go on the clip. So the clip is a beautiful hand-controlled, man, and a lot of contouring goes on that clip. Look at that. You see that. For once, the video does it justice. You have here a kind of, you see the lines here and here, of course. And it's such a nicely hand contoured. A lot of details on that clip, which come, look at that. Look at the beautiful, line of it. The Damascus on it is different than the blade, and this is something that I really like. This is Rob Thomas Damascus, this is Chad Nichols Damascus, and this is Chad Nichols Zircotai. And look at that. When you look at the full package, I'm going to open the knife, and I'm going to try to focus on that. It's very consistent. Look at that. I mean, the color matched so perfectly well together. Look at that. Such an incredible, look at this view. This is mesmerizing. So a perfect match with 3 different materials: Chad Nichols, Damascus, Chad Nichols Zircotai, Rob Thomas Damascus. What a perfect match. Such an incredible knife. So now let's go with the blade, because I need to go fast. I don't want to go over the 15 minutes. So Chad Nichols Damascus, absolutely perfectly etched. You feel the texture. This is something that I absolutely love about Damascus. Something that you find with Rexford, with with Tom Mayo. I love the texture on the Damascus, and I've talked about that. I love when the black are black and the shiny parts are shiny, and this is something that you find. And what about that pattern? I mean, I don't remember having. I love those waves here. That pattern is absolutely phenomenal, and that's mesmerizing also. One of the best pattern of Damascus I've ever seen. I love those curved line, and I love those nice little rounds here. I could spend the day just to look at that blade. Listen, on both sides, look at that. It's such a beautiful pattern. I love it. The blade shape is the regular one. The jimping is the same. I mean, the action on this knife, we're going to talk about that. But I mentioned that, and a lot of people made a lot of videos about RJ, about the fact that they're absolutely, I mean, it's undescribable perfection. Look at that. The centering is spot on. The action. This is because you have a long backspacer. And a word about this backspacer, actually. It's done in carbon fiber, which is okay. You know, probably it's such a dressy knife that maybe you want to stop somewhere and end up with some carbon fiber, regular carbon fiber backspacer. But the fact, I mean, the action of the RJ and the noise that they make is a kind of combination between a strong detent, a strong liner, and a long backspacer like that. It creates some kind of, you know, of nice condition to have that typical noise that made him the best maker at blade since 2007, if I remember correctly, if memory serves me well. I think that's what it was. In 2007, he made those flipper already, and that was a revolution at that time. To have an action like that, with a detent like that and a noise like that, was such an incredible thing at that time in the knife world. The engagement, look at that, absolute perfection. I like the finish that he done on those liners. Look at those thick liners, but that's the usual thing that you can expect. So I've talked about the art, the action. I mean, he didn't sacrifice any action, any perfection of this mechanism on this knife. Probably he must have thought that no one would ever dare playing with that knife other than fondling it. But everything is here. I mean, the blade doesn't budge. The stop in here and the lock here are absolutely perfect. No movement whatsoever, front to front, side to side, and no stickness at all. The smoothness of this knife is unreal. That's absolutely unreal. So you have everything on it. You have, as I told you, the art, you have the action, and man, this blade is functional. I mean, if you want to use it as a tool, if you want to use it as a tool, do it. That's something that can cut, man. This is a very organic blade shape, and that's a perfect, probably not EDC yet, because it's a long blade, it's a overall long knife. You can carry in the pocket, but it's not really the most friendly EDC that you can think of. But definitely that's a knife that you can use for sure. It's a tool. It's a pure product of art, a real craftsmanship, and a mechanism from outer space. So with that being said, my friend, I will leave it at that because I need to play with it a little bit more. It was truly a pleasure to to share that with you, and a great day for me, because I love those days when I'm still surprised and overwhelmed with knives. And I'll catch you very soon, my friend, for another video. Bye-bye.